Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we will begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MK Ultra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got that crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects of mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens on the sun or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects of mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Meat Feeds. Hello, Foxfire, Malibu Surfer, Snot Rocket 87, Cutie Pie, Aries Girl. Hi, guys. How are you? We went a little bit. Hi, Harlot. We went a little bit earlier today. I'm sorry, Mrs. D Mom. I would email you. Because I'm absolutely exhausted and I'm like, let me go on and get this done with. I did a lot of stuff for the channel today, and honestly, I cannot look at the screen any longer. So I very much look forward to getting off, taking a shower, and relaxing. But before we go any further, we have a mod's birthday in the chat, so we have to say happy birthday to my snot rocket. So make sure everybody says happy birthday to Nadie in the chat. Happy birthday, Nadie. Hi, Shay Boone. Drive safe. Yes, please, definitely drive safe. Do not look, just listen. Drive safe. But happy birthday. Oh, you're training a new girl at work, Musicity Mom? That's always, well, that could actually be, yeah, we did this already, but I wasn't on panel, Nadie. I was only in chat, and I can't yell from chat. I can only, like, bust a caps lock, so. And if you guys don't already know, Nadie has a fabulous wax melt company, and I swear, I don't just promote it because she is a fabulous mod and friend, but because they are fabulous. You could get 20% off with the promo code Conspiracy Queen. I swear, you could ask anybody in the chat who has purchased these melts. They are fantastic. She has all different types of scents for the fall season, upcoming holidays. I saw that she's doing. I already got my eye on a couple of scents for the winter season coming up, but they are amazing. They are delicious, for real. Check them out if you are interested. But okay, hello. I decided to switch things up at the last minute because we have a new Sarah Boone letter. And since we already dropped the 2 document drops with Letitia, we'll do episode 8 tomorrow. We'll do episode 8 tomorrow. We'll take a break from Letitia for tonight. And we'll go over the newest letter from Sarah Boone. And we'll briefly discuss the fact that cameras will be allowed in the courtroom for Bryan Kohberger. Their wax melts, Malibu Surfer. So whether you have the electric, which Nay says is much better than the candle, which I agree with her, because I originally used like I had the little stand where you could put the little, I don't know what to call it, like little circular candle in. But she's right, because the melt scents last a lot longer in the electric burners because it slowly burns at a lower temperature. She's totally right. But I've been so obsessed with candles and the scents, but you become nose blind to them. So of course I still love my candles just for like the ambiance and the atmosphere, but the scents, not only do I love it, but my daughter is obsessed with it because she Nay sent like chocolate chip cookies, strawberry cupcakes, all the delicious ones. And you will find a scent that is made for you. And just the packaging, everything is just spot on, guys. Hi, Chit Chat. Hey, Steph. Strange Exchange. Yeah, Malibu Surfer, it is. I'm telling you, I'm not just promoting it because I love her. It is quality stuff. I promise. Yeah, the packaging in itself is epic. She personalizes it. She does a fabulous job. So again, I'll drop the link for anybody who's interesting. Anybody who's interested. You have to be interesting in order to order. Thanks, Dara Johnson. So, all right, let's start just with a little Kohberger update because it's kind of quick. And then we'll get into the Sarah Boone letter. Harlot. That's such a relief. He's going to allow cameras. Now, hopefully the defense doesn't just keep refiling and asking them again and again because they got Bryan's eyebrows in the frame or some dumb thing. Yeah. All right. So let's pull that up first. Oof, I swear I have such a massive headache from staring at the screen so much today. But it's worth it. We got the spigots for the Boone in the chat. All right. So I'm honestly, I am shocked. I'm shocked here. Because both prosecution, hi Olivia, both prosecution and defense agreed on no cameras being in the courtroom. And the judge made it clear that he also was not fond of cameras being in the courtroom. So with the prosecution and defense in agreeing, we did not anticipate the judge to turn around and be like, all right, let the cameras in. Especially being that he was so negative about it, referencing the O.J. Simpson case and trials turning into spectacles. Hey, Nika. Well, we were stunned because the murder trial will have cameras in the courtroom, which the family wanted. That is the most important part here. I thought it was a done deal too, Meat Feets. Me too, Cutie Pie. Hey, Adrian. I am shocked. Me neither, Malibu Surfer. Prosecution's like, all right, no big deal. We won't fight. We're fine with no cameras. Defense is like, we don't want cameras. The judge is like, I don't want cameras. And we're like, we're not getting cameras. And the judge is like, all right, screw it. We'll put the cameras in. And we're like, what? Listen, I'm not complaining because the families, we don't know yet, Musicity Mom. The families want the cameras. So, cameras we shall get. I want that transparency. Exactly, Cutie Pie. It was the family's wish. It was the family's wish. They did not like all of the hush-hush behind closed doors. Strange exchange. Shay is driving, so if she doesn't message back, that's because she's driving. I just want you to know. So you don't think she's ignoring you again. Steve had expressed that we don't like all these secret motions and all these filings done behind closed doors. If this really is the correct person, you have the right guy, open the doors, let the cameras in for the entire process. So, will Bryan Kohberger murder trial allow cameras in the courtroom? The judge announces his decision. The judge overseeing the case against Bryan Kohberger announced Thursday that he will continue to allow cameras during the hearings, but with more control over them. So, all right, we got a little bit of a hook with that. More control with it, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll take what we can get, right? Hey, Michelle. Judge John Judge of Idaho's 2nd Judicial District in Leda County kicked off the hearing, saying he had yet to issue his decision on the matter, but that still and video cameras will for now continue to be permitted. I'm not going to ban cameras in the courtroom, but I need more control over what cameras are doing. I know I can only control so much, and that's why I continue to urge people to be patient and have some dignity and some restraint. Judge says he's been disappointed by how some video footage is later used by individuals on the internet. He didn't outright say or detail how he's going to control the cameras. Now listen, I'm going to stop right there. You can't control the internet. You can't control the internet. Not yet, Strange Exchange. You are, and this is what we were arguing, like I made all of these arguments initially. You are not angry at the media inside the courtroom, not saying that they're perfect, but you are more angry at what some people on Twitter did with the footage after it hit the internet. That is out of your control. Hey, it's Eli. So Kohberger's attorneys argued last month that the ongoing presence of cameras in the courtroom deprives their client of his constitutional right to due process guaranteed under the 14th Amendment. His defense team said that media photographers and videographers have disobeyed judges' prior instruction to avoid focusing exclusively on Kohberger. Photos solely of Kohberger are also later appended to articles with blatantly sensationalistic and prejudicial headlines and content. Jay Logston, one of Kohberger's public defenders, wrote in a legal filing that sought to update the court's rules for cameras inside the courtroom by eliminating them. The concept of removing this sort of almost sideshow from what's being put out there, we think, would be an important way to kind of take away the sensationalism of this case and just kind of reduce it to hopefully the words on the page Logston added to a court hearing on the issue last week. A trial date has yet to be set after Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial, but prosecutors have already stated their intent to pursue the death penalty if a jury finds him guilty. Judge said during the 40-minute hearing that he sought to strike a balance concerning cameras between what is best for the parties in the case to achieve a fair trial and the need to preserve public access in the highly watched legal proceedings. It's a benefit and also potentially a harm, Judge said. It can tilt a case one way or the other if the media is, well, trying the case in the media. And we don't want that because that's not based on evidence. That's not based on the rules of the court, and it can get out of control. Prosecutors in their response said they recognize the importance of the media in the court process. They also cited their reservations about journalists capturing images and video of graphic evidence from the crime and vulnerable witnesses who may testify at trial. The decision of whether to allow cameras in the courtroom is discretionary for the court, Brad Rudley, deputy attorney in the Leda County Prosecutor's Office, told Judge at the hearing. However, our contention is that the safest way and best way to address all of these concerns is to prohibit cameras in the courtroom, or at least bar them from filming or shooting sensitive evidence or witnesses, he said. Media Coalition Victims' Families oppose camera ban. Wendy Olson, a former U.S. attorney for the state of Idaho, represented a coalition of about 24 media outlets, including the Idaho Statesman, at the hearing. She argued for maintaining camera access in the courtroom on First Amendment grounds, adding that images and video from the court proceedings help limit the publishing of misinformation about the case by non-journalistic commentators, which is true. We need a source of actual factual information. Welcome, Pizza Chemist. Thanks for becoming a Tinfoil Hat member. Your support's greatly appreciated. The answer is not less sunshine. It's more, Olson told Judge. The public and this community will be best served by having those cameras in the courtroom. Judge denied the coalition's attempt to be listed as formal interveners on the camera question, but said he would consider the argument of the media outlets in his ruling on an amicus curiae basis, a Latin term that translates to friend of the court. At least two of the victims' families also oppose removing cameras from the courtroom, including at trial. Shannon Gray, attorney for the Gonsalves family, issued a statement to the Statesman on behalf of his clients, as well as some members of the Kernodle family. Speculation is fueled by the secrecy surrounding everything that is filed and every hearing that is closed off to the media and the public. So it is vitally important that the trial be viewed publicly. It is important to the victim's family, relatives, community members, and the public that this veil of secrecy be lifted at trial. This is not only ensures accountability for all the parties involved, but also helps the public maintain its faith in the justice system. In his argument, Logson said the defense had concerns about the ability of media camera operators from their current vantage near where prosecutors and the defense team are seated to zoom in on their work right over their shoulder. If Judge decided to keep the cameras, though, Logson suggested the video camera be moved to the back of the courtroom, perhaps mounted for a single wide shot as it's sometimes seen on C-SPAN. I thought that might be kind of a way to give a little kind of a protect what we're trying to protect, Logson said. Judge said he would issue his ruling at a later time and review the concept. He then renewed his overarching message to members of the media and others closely following the high-profile case. Please have patience, be respectful, and be decent. That's what I want, Judge said. So, as of now, hey, Shakto. Oh, Dara, thank you so much. Hey, Jen Lou. Dara, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. That's so kind of you. Congratulations, Mrs. O, Steph, Sunny D in Arizona, Lane, and Illusions13. Hooray! This is so exciting. We got to do a members live. Thank you so much. Hey, Quirky S. Well, you know what? I think I understand what you mean. It's when you say exciting, it's not like, well, hey, I'm excited because, you know, these beautiful lives were lost, versus you have an interest in true crime. You have a fascination with the court process, and you're eager to get answers, and you are very invested in the case. And so to see kind of the finality of it, to get those answers, to see how it plays out. You're excited for that process. And that's fair to say, because I share that same emotion. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you, Dara. Thank you. And thank you, Malibu Surfer. You guys are so kind. I appreciate it. So that's huge, guys. Again, I did not expect that. We had the prosecution and the defense saying that they were in agreement with pulling cameras out of the courtroom altogether. The judge really expressed that he was not a fan of cameras. So there was really no way I thought the judge was going to come back and say, all right. But you know what this tells me? This makes me feel a little more content with this judge. I'm not saying I wasn't before, but you know what this tells me? This judge is willing to set exactly what a judge is supposed to do, but willing to set their own feelings aside. And he took the time, John Judge took the time to weigh out all factors and determine what was best for this case. And listen, that doesn't mean down the line that he may change his mind, because media may, fudge up and do something and he could pull the cameras. But right now, the fact that he's like, all right, I'll keep them in, that makes me happy, because that tells me, all right, he's taking into account what the families are wanting. I like that. And right, Jen Liu, it's allowing us, listen, the biggest part about having cameras in the courtroom, it's about having a direct source for the information. If you take away cameras from the courtroom, you are relying on people to give us that information. And that is going to create a bunch of misinformation. Hey, MK, if we do not have a direct source to be able to say, hey, well, we saw it on the stand for ourselves, right? If you go to day 3, hour 2, right? Like, let's take the Letitia Stout trial, right? We could go to the exact footage and see for ourselves exactly what happened. We have that transcript. We know what happened. We are not going to be able to get fed any misinformation with it. But also, and I've said this before, transcript is not enough for me. If you give me transcript of what witnesses say on the stand, okay? One of the big witnesses we are going to be anticipating is Dylan. We are all going to be very anxious to hear Dylan's statements, her testimony, what happened when she took the stand. Now, if we only had access to transcript, let me tell you, we are up for interpretation. And I've explained this before. If I had myself up here versus Alex Erickson up here, right? 2 totally different personalities. I can say the same exact statement Allie says. Yet when I say that statement, it can be interpreted and perceived completely differently than when Allie says it. Thank you, Michelle. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Donna, B for at Corky S, Bree McGee, and Melissa. Thank you, Michelle. That's really kind. Thank you. Thank you. It can be interpreted completely differently. Why is this important? Okay. This is important because with this case, yes, not you. I'm so sorry about that. I got to work on my communication. I'm really sorry. But it could be perceived very differently. So already surrounding this case, we have a lot of speculation and we have a lot of conspiracy. I myself do have a lot of questions regarding the time frame, the lack of certain actions being taken, but Dylan deserves to be able to share the events that took place. And how do I say this? I am a visual person. If the only thing I have access to are the answers on transcript, what we are not going to have: facial expressions, body language, the quivers in the person's voice when they're explaining it, everything, the emotion, everything. And it's those exact things that really may completely change your opinion. And so what happens if the transcript, and I'm just using Dylan as an example. I'm not trying to put it all on Dylan. I'm just using Dylan as an example because she has been in the middle of a lot of controversy and a lot of speculation surrounding the case. If we only have access to that transcript, and little do we know if we had saw her on the stand, and really what we're perceiving on transcript is completely different of how she was on the stand, that is not fair. You know what I mean? The same way you could read a book and I could read a book, yet we could interpret characters completely different, because in my mind, I perceived a character to be completely different than you did because I created that character in my head. You know what I mean? And so this is why I also think it's important, aside from transparency of the court process, but the witnesses on the stand, I think it's very, very important to see their emotion, their body language, how they are relaying the story, retelling the story, how they get tripped up during cross, how they don't get tripped up during cross. All of these things are very, very telling. And I'm telling you, during Letitia Stout, we had so much transparency, probably more transparency than I ever imagined. But we had a lot of transparency. And you cannot walk away from that ever thinking for 1 second, this isn't the right person, right? Now, I won't deny with this case, I don't think there's ever not going to be a portion of people that aren't going to be satisfied. I think even with transparency, even with cameras in the courtroom, there is always going to be a portion of people who are not satisfied. Their minds are already made up that there is a conspiracy, that Bryan is not the guy, even if he is the guy. So we just have to accept that, unfortunately. Right. Exactly. Exactly, Harlot. But you can tell a lot from somebody's face. Hey, Nora's grandma. You can tell a lot. And if I had to read somebody saying I was scared, just the word, 3 words on a transcript, I was scared, versus I could see them on the stand saying I was scared, and I could see that bottom lip quiver, and I could see their body language indicating fear towards the defendant, and I could see them becoming closed off. Does that make sense? Like, and I'll be like, nope, I'll believe them. I'll believe them just based on how they said it. And I know that might sound crazy, but I can't get that from the transcript. I need to see it to believe it. So these are, all the reasons why I think having cameras in the courtroom is very important. Now, of course, I acknowledge it comes with complications. It comes with issues. It's not perfect. I acknowledge that. I do. But you gotta sit here and weigh, well, which one outweighs the other. But I'll tell you what, for defense to scream that there's some conspiracy going on and that there's some cover-up, shady business, I do find it extremely odd that you wouldn't want cameras to be there for full transparency. I'll say that. Right. And I was so invested with Lori Vallow, okay? Now, a big factor, I will say, of why also I probably couldn't follow it as deeply as I wanted to was because it was happening simultaneous to the Letitia Stout trial. But having it recorded and released after real time and only an audio version is not the same. It is not the same. That makes me go crazy because I cannot not look at someone. I need to see them. The hell am I going to look at for 8 hours? Even the nice channels that put like on a slideshow? No, because I don't know when there's like a 10-second pause. Are they crying? Are they looking down with emotion? Is someone getting, a drink of water? What's happening? I need to know those movements. That's why the trial of Letitia Stout was phenomenal, because we got to see everything. Complete transparency. You're good, Michelle. Okay. So, moving on, because we have at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, guys, we have over on Alex Erickson's channel, she is debuting. Her and the Jens got their new set of Letitia calls. So I got to make sure I'm off in time for that. I'm very excited for that. So next up, we have our new Sarah Boone letter. Are you guys ready? Put your spigots in the chat if you're a member. Hey, Amber. Okie dokie. I didn't know if we would hear from Boone again so soon after getting her new lawyer. But here we are. Hey, Pointer Lover. All right. So I think this is the context of this is a little bit in a different direction. You read it, Amber? Okay. So a little bit in a different direction here, but let's get into it. And then hopefully we'll have Bendy Lou do a Boone reading because she does great dramatic readings of Boone too. Let's drop Bendy's link. Okay. So we have to judge from Sarah Boone, Bryan Boone. Motion to read letter from respondent and schedule a case management hearing. So to Judge Michael Dean. In all of my attempts, 16 plus, to protect myself and help from the still ongoing hate, lies, slander, degradation, cruelty, and active abuse from my former husband. Uh-oh. Now it's not a lawyer. Now it's her former hubby. From my former husband, Bryan C. Boone, nothing has been improved, made better, corrected, relieved in any way for myself, the respondent, from former husband, the court, or judge. I have tried everything. All right, so here we go. So now it is no longer, so you have to remember at the hearing, oh, we want it. We want a dramatic reading, and we shall get one. So you have to remember at the last hearing when her former attorney asked to be removed, the judge specifically told Sarah, which I was really surprised when he approved that. But the judge specifically told Sarah, if you have these issues again, are you really, Tracy? That's awesome. If you have these issues again, I'm not appointing you another lawyer. Like, you will have to retain your own counsel. So it looks like now her energy has shifted towards her ex-husband. We don't know yet, Dynamite. So in all my attempts, 16 plus, to protect myself and help from the still ongoing hates, lies, slander, degradation, cruelty, and active abuse from former husband, Bryan C. Boone, nothing has been improved, made better, corrected, or relieved in any way for myself, the respondent, from my former husband, the court, or judge. I have tried everything. Sounds familiar. I have made innumerable requests and sent many letters asking for aid from all with no success or assistance, listening, or care by anyone other than myself trying to relieve or altogether stop his inappropriateness, bitterness, anger, and wrongdoing. Boone. I'm getting thirsty for you. I'm getting a little parched up in here. How could you possibly... Okay. What is he doing? Number one. What is your ex-husband doing? first of all. How is he abusing you when you are locked up? Second of all, how can you claim these types of things are continuously happening to you? There's just no way. Here we go again. Please see the list below of my letters sent to you and the court per the records of management division of the clerk of courts when for the third time trying to get a copy of my active dissolution of the marriage agreement. I cannot have because they are wanting a payment in order to receive, and I am in jail. I also have no bank account after the one I had was closed after having for 30 years due to non-payment of alimony from former husband as stated in prior letters. She needs an Aunt Brenda. So here she goes again. We've seen this before where she lists those damn dates. She lists those damn dates. Did you expect your husband not to like divorce you separate? Like, what did you expect? It is appalling how uninterested, uncaring, and nonchalant you and the justice system are about my side in any of this, and will not listen without the right paperwork and attorney, knowing I am actively being taken advantage of and wrongfully mistreated by my former husband, Bryan C. Boone. This is the same letters, just replace her attorneys with her husband now. You have continuously enabled him and given him a self-appointed right and understanding to keep doing, saying, and taking everything wrongfully and illegally from me, including and especially the love and respect from my son. It is not okay. Ooh, I don't know about that. Like, listen, I'm sure that that's got to be a really difficult situation, being in jail and navigating the relationships of having a child outside of jail and having to communicate with your ex to maintain that relationship. I'm sure that that's very difficult of a task to do, but I don't think you could blame the justice system on. I don't know about that. You're a killer. That's why I'm not doing anything. My former husband said in front of my son on the phone, you are not important to anyone. My former husband said on numerous dates. Let me tell you something, Sarah. Welcome to having an ex. And you are, listen, I'm all about due process. I'm all about due process, all right? All right. But you recorded it. Listen, there's a little bit of a difference with you. Of course, you are entitled to a fair trial. But you recorded that shit. So we all know you did it. You recorded it and you mocked him and you laughed at him, and then you drank from a spigot. We know what you did. So him saying you're a killer, it's the truth. Now, do I agree with him saying it in front of your son? I actually don't. I don't agree with saying that type of stuff in front of kids, period. But I don't know what happened. And I don't like sticking up for you, but I will say I don't like saying stuff in front of kids, period. But you acting astonished that ever happened, I'm sure the child does know and has heard, given that it's an international case. But I still don't understand what a judge cannot control your ex saying dick comments to you. So I'm not understanding what the thing is here. So you're a killer. That's why I'm not doing anything. Former husband said in front of son on phone. You are not important to anyone. Former husband said on numerous dates, which what does she want the judge to do? You want to talk about your rights all the time, your amendment and constitutional rights, yet you don't want his freedom of speech, right? Like, come on. You are not a priority, former husband said on numerous dates. Dad says you're annoying and beg all the time. Sorry, but sorry. I shouldn't be laughing at that because I really don't like the kid stuff, but it's probably true. Dad says you're annoying and beg all the time. Son told me after asking him to ask former husband if he finally ordered a book and a hot meal after being made to call daily to check for 13 weeks. Wait a second. Is the ex having to do things for, put things on the books for her? Bendy, do you know if the ex has to add money on her books and stuff, so she has to contact him? Dad says you're annoying and beg all the time. This is what my son told me after asking him to ask my former husband if he finally ordered a book and a hot meal after being made to call daily to check for 13 weeks. A judge can't do anything about that. It doesn't matter if you're a judge can't make your ex do anything. If your ex doesn't want to put money on the books or answer your calls, a judge can't fucking force him to do that. Right, Nay? Could you imagine being in jail and then calling, someone outside of jail and them not wanting to put money on your books or something like that, and you saying, excuse me, judge, how you need to do something about this? It's not his responsibility. He does not have to do that. Oh, no, they actually got pretty good stuff, Harlot. But is it different, Amanda, because she's in jail? Amber, thanks for being a member for 22 months. Sarah Boone for president or the penitentiary. One or the other. One or the other. Well, she's not in prison yet. She's in jail, so I don't know if there's a difference. I lie to you because I can. Dad does it all the time, my son says. Again, this is not therapy. This is not the judge. All right. Now, let me be clear. If this was family court, and you were going for something for like parental alienation, things like this could actually be brought up, turning your child against the other parent. But this is not what this is. You make no difference in our lives, former husband said on numerous dates. What does that mean? He is allowed to say what? I am so confused right now. What are you asking the judge for? We'll get to that. I know the answer, but like, what is happening here? That's okay with you and acceptable, Judge Dean? Is that what you are giving him permission for and to keep doing in front of my son? Why won't you stop any of this abuse? Verbal, mental, and emotional. Why aren't you, as my judge, doing anything to hear and understand both sides? Because this is not what the justice system does not intervene to make sure that your husband orders you a book. Boone. What do you want the judge to do? Write up a motion to force your ex to order you a book? What else needs to be done to me by my former husband in order for you to help me? What else can I do? What else can I do that I have not done already to get any relief on my side? Jesus Christ. Stop enabling. Judicially, you must know this is wrong and how I am being treated. She just doesn't like being in jail. At the end of the day, Boone just doesn't like being in jail. She thinks this is all around just wrong. Well, you shouldn't zip up your boyfriends in a suitcase and slowly torture them until they die. That's wrong too. I am told every time when trying to reduce any anguish or mistreatment from my former husband and cooperate trying to help, the judge doesn't care what you write. My son now says the same thing when I correct him on how he is being mean and rude to me. He's never going to do anything for you until the trial is over. And even then, it will still all be in my favor. My other document is ready to go, so I can take the rest. I have an attorney. You deserve nothing. You mean nothing. You guys, Sarah. Then former husband gets his precious attorney to file another answer denying allegations because I'm telling the truth all the time about his awful lies, and I am right. Oh, God. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Judge Dean. So I have to continue taking the former husband's abuse, neglect, unlawful actions, cruel comments, and hate until my trial, and when it happens, however long that will be now, considering my attorney has withdrawn from my case and no date of trial is known or will be for an undetermined amount of time? And whose fault is that, Sarah? Whose fault is that, Sarah? How many attorneys is this now, Sarah? How much more hate and disrespect will my former husband encourage my son to keep lying and being overall mean to me, his mother? Former husband is teaching and reflecting a terrible example of how women can and should be treated. Nevertheless, the mother of his child. This is egregious and wrong. So is stuffing a man into a suitcase, mocking and torturing him until he suffocates and dies. Sarah. Just saying. I feel like you're lacking a little bit of self-awareness here, Boone. I don't know about that. Awareness? Self-awareness? This isn't how you should treat people? Coming from the woman who did what? Mars, thanks for becoming a member, and I love your new picture. Thank you. I know, I just said that, Meatfoot. We gotta definitely do one. Gosh darn, Boone. This is not how you treat people. I don't care that I'm sitting in a cell right now awaiting trial for murdering my boyfriend for zipping him up in a suitcase as he slowly suffocated and died. You will treat people with respect and humility. You hear me? Excuse me? And the sad part is Sarah really just thinks all she's got to do is get to trial. Because once she hits trial, she'll be getting out. Egregious. Oh. Boone the Loon. Please read my prior motion for case management hearing I sent on June 28th with no response to date. I am requesting again to please schedule. It is fair, and there are too many topics to be discussed, including my attorney to write, and I have only one pen. Oh no. Sorry guys. Oh no. She only has one pen. Oh, you guys Sarah writes, so you could only imagine one pen. You could only, you know what it's like on a piece of paper when the ink starts to run out. I could only imagine how many pages has like those invisible words on it. You know what I mean? When you're pressing so hard that it's it's just indents. Like this is a legit concern for her. Please. Oh my God, she only has one pen. No. She's carving letters. Oh no. Oh my God. Oh, Sarah. Oh no. Oh crap. Come on, pens can't, you could get, we have Letitia Stout talking about getting Kentucky Fried Chicken. She's getting Adidas shoes, and Boone can't get a pen? Like, give me a break. Friggin' Stout is calling it Prisneyland, and Boone is about to be carving her letters? Come on. Oh, you know what? They're doing that on purpose. They ain't giving her no ink on purpose. I'm telling you. Please. This is important, and I only have one pen. This is necessary, lawful, active, and important topics. What is the certified notice of delinquent support filed on August 3rd, 23rd? Oh no. You can even see the question mark starting to get hollow. Oh no. Oh. It's hanging on. Hey, ATS. Oh man. That 3. She's looking the tip of her last word. She's oh my God, but it's just making me laugh because she's sitting in a cell and she's stressing because she really does only have one pen, and this is a major concern for her as she's looking at that ink slowly going down like shit. And she started this letter saying she wrote 16 plus. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ew. Oh no. Whew. All right. So she says, please grant my motions and schedule my imperative overdue owed meeting. Everyone needs and must have the same understanding now and future. It is fair. What else can I do? What's left except for begging, which former husband says I do all the time. Listen, Boone, if you're running out of ink, all right, if you are running low on ink, it is not the time to take the digs at the former husband. You already included that in a former paragraph. You don't need to include that here. We are low on ink. Choose your words wisely, all right? What else can I do? What's left except for begging, which my former husband says I do all the time? What am I doing wrong in order to be treated rightfully, properly, ethically, correct, in order to finally receive your judicial assistance? How am I and have been and will be treated by former husband Bryan C. Boone is unfair, malicious, and wrong, and should not be in any way allowed to continue. Stop. No, malicious. Oh, no. You had to throw malicious in there, didn't you? That probably took up a whole 1/1800th ink. Was it worth it? Please see, please listen, please help. Judge Dean, what was the reason for your comment made in your courtroom about former husband violating my constitutional rights? If you're not going to help or uphold said rights and lawfully allow me to use, what's the point? Why do I even have? You know I do in order for you to remark and see they are being violated. September 19th, 2022. Thanks, Musicity Mom, for gifting a membership, and congratulations to Crime and Crochet are my hyper focus. Hey, thank you so much. Please schedule. It is my right. It is fair. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Star. Please send a copy of this letter so I know it was received and will serve as my receipt. So then, Corky says, y'all, I'd pay big bucks to hear her husband tell the judge right in front of Suitcase Sarah that he had no malicious intent on ignoring her BS. Me too. So, dear Miss Boone, this is from Family Law Matters. We have reviewed your letter requesting legal assistance. This letter is to inform you that the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association will not be able to assist you regarding family law matters. Our office receives hundreds of requests each month for free legal assistance. While we would like to help as many applicants as possible due to limited staff and other resources, we are unable to assist everyone who contacts us. As a result, we have established case acceptance priorities to address the most pressing needs of our client community, and thus, we do not accept matters that involve alimony or custody time sharing on behalf of a parent who does not have the child residing with them for at least 50% of the time. Our consideration of your case was limited, and our decision not to provide legal representation to you does not mean that you do not have a good case or defense. You should be aware that the passage of time might prevent you from pursuing your claim or defense. We are not aware of any free legal resources to assist you. We suggest you contact a private attorney of your choice or the attorney referral service. The attorney referral service is a service available through the Orange County Bar Association, and their phone number is XYZ. The attorney referral service provides the referral free of charge to an attorney who practices in your area of law. If you would like to obtain the services of an attorney to talk to, the attorney will charge you an hourly rate for his or her services to represent you in your case. Sincerely, Legal Aid Society of the OCBA, Inc. And then finally, so Bryan C. Boone, petitioner against Sarah Boone. So order following case management conference. So her ex filed on Sarah. This cause having come before this court for case management conference on October 16, 2023, and the court, having heard from all parties present, finds and orders as follows. 1. Both parties appeared for this case management conference, which included a motion to withdraw by the respondent's counsel, Frank Bankowitz. That was Sarah's former attorney who had just withdrawn. 2. There were no objections to the withdrawal of respondent's counsel. 3. Frank Bankowitz is hereby removed as counsel for the respondent. 4. Counsel shall provide a more formal proposed order for his removal to be signed by the court within 10 days. 5, the case management conference discussed the status of the case, including the petitioner's request for a reduction or elimination of alimony and for relocation. Okay, so Bryan requested for a reduction or elimination of alimony and to relocate. 6, the respondent is currently incarcerated in the Orange County Jail pending trial on a charge of second-degree murder. 7, the court cannot hear the respondent's motion for contempt regarding unpaid alimony until after a final hearing is held on the respondent's petition for reduction or elimination of alimony. So now Sarah put in a motion because Bryan stopped paying alimony. But they cannot hear that motion until they hear Bryan's motion first. 8, the respondent expressed frustration at not having matters heard and not being adequately informed about her case. 9, the court explained that the family case is on hold pending the outcome of the respondent's criminal case. 10, the court finds that permanent decisions regarding relocation and alimony should be postponed until the adjudication of the respondent's criminal case so that circumstances are clearer. 11, the respondent was informed that she may opt for a final hearing on the petitioner's petition for alimony reduction and elimination and her own contempt motion, but that the court would have to consider her current status of incarceration when making determinations. And 12, the respondent was advised to ensure that any motions filed conform to the Florida Family Rules of Procedure and the Florida Rules of General Practice and Judicial Administration. This includes utilizing proper captions, titles, and certificates of service. So that's where we're at. What do you guys think? Yes, thank you, Ortiz Mia, for telling me. Hey, Pursuing Understanding. Whoop. Well, Kate, he filed, which honestly makes sense, because if they were already in a family, like a custody agreement, he still can't just pick up because she's in jail, right? Nothing is permanent. She's pending trial. So in order for him to relocate pending, I don't know what their custody agreement and stuff was. So if it was like, hey, you can't move more than 20 miles outside of each other's location, he would still have to go to court for that. And so he's filing for an alimony reduction or elimination, meaning he no longer has to pay Sarah alimony, or at least reduced alimony now that she's in jail. And he wants to move, which I do not blame him. Would you want to still live in the same area where your wife was being tried for murder? Or your child to be growing up in the neighborhood where their mom was in jail pending the trial of a murder? No. But now that he's filed for that, Sarah puts in a motion for contempt of the alimony. Contempt meaning Bryan stopped paying the alimony now that she's in jail. Right? Why am I going to make alimony payments? You're not even outside of, you cannot access these accounts. I'm not paying, you're in jail. And he also filed the motion anyway. So she found out he's trying to get the alimony to stop. So she files a contempt motion against Bryan, which he could actually get in trouble, but they're not going to get him in trouble given this situation. they're saying, well, we can't have the contempt motion hearing until we have the first hearing that Bryan filed for alimony reduction and or elimination. And whatever judgment that they come to, it will not be permanent. That will be pending the trial, because at the trial, whether she's convicted or not, that will be a more permanent. So as far as relocating, they don't want to say, hey, yeah, you could relocate and then Sarah's can get out. And then it's like, hey, well, she deserves to have a relationship with her child. So yes, it's going to be pending when she gets out. Well, come on. You didn't expect me to say it properly, did you? Okay, so let me see. So it's Artemisha. How did I say it? Okay, what did I say? Artemisha. I think I said Artemis. I don't even remember how I said it now. Artemisia, I think I said. Something like that. Cray, I believe at the time of the murders, if I'm not mistaken, he was still in elementary school. Right, Dynamite? If he pays taxes, that should be enough. I believe he was still in elementary at the time of the murder, so I would think he would be in middle school. Yes, I think he'd be in middle school now. Maybe like 7th grade, maybe 6th, 7th grade. Artemisia. Well, that's what you're gonna get, because I still have musicity, Mom. Yeah, right. Oh my God, I'll never forget the moment that creator said, "Thanks, Music City Mom," and it was like, whoa, and I was like, oh my God, of course it's Music City Mom. How dumb am I? What the hell is a musicity? What even is that? That's not a word. Why would I think that's a thing? I'm so sorry. But you're forever musicity. I can't imagine saying it any other way now. Well, it's not child support. It's alimony. Yeah, I say it's your guys' fault for picking complicated names. Now, if he did have to pay child support, I can tell you that if she did go into jail, all he would have had to do was he could have stopped paying, and then he could have filed a motion because he would have gotten like an emergency order for full, even though I think he had majority custody. I don't know what their agreement was to begin with, but if for some reason he was paying child support and the situation changed like that, he could have, well, it depends on if they were taking directly out of his account, but he could have filed an order with the courts and they would have ceased the payments and had them stop being directly taken out of his account once he would have had sole custody of the child. Draw. I listen. Boone, the judge made it very clear that, yeah, but Kate, the thing with Boone is she keeps she keeps scaring off every lawyer. So she's gone through legit like 12 lawyers now. Court appointed lawyers. I'm for real very shocked that the judge approved Bankowitz's withdrawal, given how close she was to trial. But now, because a new attorney keeps getting appointed, they cannot expect that a new attorney to be prepared for trial in such a short amount of time. So they have to, again, push it out to be prepared. I don't think she has waived her right to a speedy trial. She goes through lawyers like they're pens. Let me double check. Oh, so she did waive her right to a speedy trial. Okay. I don't know. So, interesting. So we'll do I didn't expect it, honestly, because after the judge scolded her and said, listen, I don't want to hear back from you. Now, it's not the same judge. It's not the same judge. I don't think it's not the same judge. But I don't know what she expects this judge to do. You can't force your ex-husband to be nice to you. You can't force your ex-husband to not make comments to you. You cannot do that. The lack of self-awareness with Boone is just, but I cannot wait for Boone's trial. I cannot wait for Boone's trial. I seriously cannot wait. Yep, Little Red Riding Hood, absolutely. She is a big complainer, Kate. She just thinks that if you watch Boone's interrogation, which we went through on this channel, she genuinely believes she has a higher IQ than everyone, that she is smarter than everyone, and that she's above everybody. And that's how she walks around, with that type of attitude. But I look forward to the trial. Oh, me too, cray. I don't know what to expect with that, but I feel horrible for the victims' families, because we finally got all the way here, and now who knows when the trial's going to be. Who knows? I think they probably will have cameras for Boone. I don't see why they would. Maybe they won't. Who knows? You know what? You really can never predict those types of things. So I guess we'll see. But all right, guys, I'm going to hop off in 50 minutes, though, over on Alex Erickson's channel. She will be live. I think both the gens will be live with her. She will be debuting. She got new hours of the Letitia Stout jailhouse calls. So really excited to listen to that. So I will be dropping her link. So make sure, if you are interested in the Letitia stuff, that's brand new. They just got it. So definitely meet me over there if you are interested. And I will be live tomorrow for episode 8 of the Case Files of Letitia Stout. But from now until then, I will have episode 7 of the document read through, which is the Google searches. So yesterday's live, the episode 7, I will have that uploaded. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. If you could hit the thumbs up on your way out, that would be awesome. And I will talk to you all soon. So I'll see you over at Allie's.